to score goals.
Yeah, and one man who would want to change that is Higuain, and he did score, like we said, but the goal was disallowed. Now, it seems like a great run. He's pulled through, he's gone past the keeper, finished it, Terry.
Yeah.
Celebrates like he should if he scored his first goal.
When you first look at it, he's done a double movement.
Yeah.
You don't really see it there. But he's done two movements to try and keep on side. He's waiting for the ball to come. If the ball comes in a little bit, look at his run.
Yeah.
There's another double run. He goes back and he's waiting for that ball to come. But it's a great ball anyway. But I think he was half a foot, as you can see there, half a foot offside.
That's barely 7-8 inches.
Yeah,
but this is what VAR is all about. This is the good part of VAR.
Yeah.
You know, it's stopping all of these goals, you know, that are offside, and they could cost teams in the long run. So I'm happy. The VAR twice today got it right.
And you know, we struggle to find disallowed goals through technology in one disallowed goal in a match. Here we have two, and Nzonzi coming up. But the way he celebrated, Terry, we were talking about it. When you see it here, I mean, there's a mad scramble that happens, a great finish.
Yeah.
But you see him, Nzonzi, he doesn't really celebrate.
He doesn't, because he knows what's probably going to happen. He knows all the cameras around him. You know, the Milan players are protesting. Listen, get over there. He's got an earpiece in him. Yeah, let's have a look at this. Let's have a second opinion on this. Sit your arms, hasn't it? And he's gone in. He has a little bit of a celebration, but it's not a full-fledged one, as we'd say. You know, he's not pulling his shirt over his head or going down on his knees and sliding all over the place. So VAR's done its job again, hasn't it?
Yeah, twice disallowed goals. Let's take a look at how the match went on. You know, Roma, first half for them were quite minimal chances, actually, because Milan was completely dominating. They did come back in the second half, create a few more chances. El Shaarawy's presence and pace definitely causing problems to Milan.
Yeah, he looked sharp when he came on. And yeah, they had to do something. Because the first half performance wasn't acceptable, and the manager changed it a little bit with personnel and shape, and yeah, they took the game to AC Milan.
I mean, we jokingly mentioned this, and we mean absolutely no offense, Terry. It almost seems like around the 57-58 mark, Milan seemed to think the match would be over by now. Right?
Yeah, I think they just get sloppy, don't they? You know, they give the ball away in certain areas when they shouldn't give it away. They just seem to go in at half-time and come out a completely different side. Yeah. Instead of getting hold of the ball and doing what they're good at and going forward all the time. But to be fair to Roma, they had to come out and do something, didn't they? They couldn't keep on playing the way they was playing. Yeah. Otherwise, it could have been, you know, probably 5 or 6, the way Milan was playing.
The manager will be delighted that they've kept going, AC Milan, and managed just to get the goal at the death. He'll be delighted with that, that they kept going. Again, adversity last week, 2-0 up, got beat 3-2, 1-0 up today, 1-1. It could have gone either way, and it went on their side.
Yeah, you're saying that, you know, here we're seeing the early parts of the second half, and they were still threatening, moving ahead, creating a few chances. Mark, I'll stay with you on this. You know, you say it's great that they kept going and they scored in the 95th minute. If Roma get another goal, you know, and it goes to 2-1, what happens then?
Well, he's under severe pressure, the manager then, isn't it? You know, and there's no coming back from that for AC Milan. So, yeah, there was chances both ends, but they managed to get the most important one right at the death, which is, again, I said before that I think on the balance of play, they deserve to win the game today.
Yeah, this match seemed like it had a bit of everything. The first half belonging to Milan. The first part of the second half, I can't say really that the whole second half belonged to Roma, because there was this period between, I think, the 72nd minute to maybe the 90th minute where, Terry, we thought, what's going on? Like, we really don't see anything happening right now.
Yeah, but listen, a couple of substitutions makes a difference. And if you're throwing substitutions on who are fresh and they just want to go get the ball and push the opposition back, then you've got a chance of that. And that's what happened. You know, and it was a bit topsy-turvy the second half. There was a chance here, there was a chance on either side, you know, for both teams. But at the end of the day, Milan come out on top, didn't they? 95th minute.
Mark, do you think anything that Di Francesco should have done, maybe tried a little more towards the end, or was he playing it safe and saying, okay, a draw is not a bad result for us?
Listen, they've gone in 1-0 down. They've got back level, and it was only a sloppy pass at the death from Nzonzi that's cost them. So we'll look at that and think, okay, we've bounced back, but we need to make sure, we need to our game has to be managed a lot better. And Zonzi should have made that ball go longer down the channels.
Yep.
And let's settle for a point.
For a point, yeah.
But unfortunately, they made the wrong decision and they got punished for it.
All right, so that was our first game of this weekend in Serie A. Let's take a look at what you can watch tomorrow, because we have some interesting matches. And of course, the whole world is going to be looking at these matches. Bologna versus Inter Milan. Kickoff is at 9:30 p.m. You can watch this match, remember. And apart from this, like I said, everyone's looking at Ronaldo as to whether he can open his scoring. Parma versus Juventus, 12 a.m. Now, Football Extra starts at 9 p.m. so you can enjoy the presentation. These handsome gentlemen will be there tomorrow. And I would like to thank you for being here with me tonight. You know, hand-holding me through my first show on Serie A, Football Extra. So thank you so much for the analysis. And I would like to thank all our viewers for watching our show. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the match. And to all the AC Milan supporters, I hope you had a great time as well. We'll join you tomorrow on Football Extra. Thank you. Good night.
This is Sony Picture Sports Network, and you are watching Sony 10-1 HD.
The stakes could not get any higher for Michelle Angel and the Seattle Mist, while Dakota Hughes, Lauren Ziegler, and Dina Wajowski may be playing in their final game. Next!
Nothing like a strong woman that takes what you want. That's powerful.
We make history when you step on that football field.
Now's the time to release that anger, that pain on them. Do you believe in miracles? They don't deserve no mercy. Them getting put down, or they get laid down.
The most successful people in life have failed. We have failed. Everything we've ever asked for is right in front of us right now. So let's get it.
A look at Pike's Place Market as LFL football night comes to Seattle. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Tonight, a tale of two teams. One a win away from advancing to the Western Conference Championship. That would be the Seattle Mist, while the other will play in its final game of the 2018 season tonight. That is the Atlanta Steam. With that said, I welcome in my broadcast partner, Bobby Hugo. Now, Bobby, we talked about the Seattle Mist. They had a mass exodus of key free agents that went to Nashville, a complete overhaul of its coaching staff, and yet they're one win away from going to the Western Conference Championship unbelievably. The Atlanta Steam, well, they probably had the most disappointing of seasons when you consider the amount of talent on this roster.
I'll start with Atlanta. If this is truly the ride into the sunset game for their three stars, quarterback Dakota Hughes, Lauren Ziegler, and Dina Wajowski, their legacies will be affected. Don't get me wrong, they're great players. In fact, Ziegler made the Hall of Fame, but all three of them did not win a Legends Cup. They didn't win the championship game, and years down the line, it will affect their legacies.
Now, what about the Seattle Mist? A lot of people think they're overachieving at this point.
Absolutely. Eric Bellamy is doing an incredible job. Their head coach. That team was left nothing. People left them for dead this year. He rallied the troops. They're playing at a high level, and nobody in the LFL is playing at a higher level than quarterback Michelle Angel. She is on fire right now.
Angel's definitely slinging it around. In fact, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings. That's really what's on the line tonight. You could see both the Los Angeles Temptation and the Seattle Mist are chasing one another for that #2 seed in the Western Conference. Obviously, Austin is in at the #1 seed currently. So that is your Western Conference playoff picture. Seattle, it's simple. Win and you're in. If Seattle loses, Los Angeles is in. Now, let's talk about the Atlanta Steam. Here's a team, you talked about it, the triplets. They're on the verge of retiring or at least not playing together anymore. Our own Heidi Golznick, the sideline reporter, decided to sit down with them and talk about their journey in friendship throughout the LFL.
Ladies, what are you guys going to miss the most about playing with one another?
Like, do you want the waterworks immediately or later into this interview? But, I mean, part of this is just a sisterhood. I didn't grow up with having any other sisters or heavy female influences. I grew up with just my father. So, I mean, honestly, it's just going to be that vibe, that energy that I get and feed off of them and take into, like, my day-to-day off the field as well. Because, you know, I love them. I mean, at this point, there's as much family to me as my normal blood is.
For me, I mean, I've played sports my whole life, but I've never had a bond quite like this. So not only are you walking away from your best friends, but your sisters, but this is something that I'm going to have these people in my life for the rest of my life. So it's almost like I'm not walking away, just the sport it's not something that we're going to do together. Exactly. Yeah. But these people will be at my wedding, these people will be at my baby shower, so.
Same. Hosting the parties, because that's what I'm good at.
I was doing fine until she started crying. But, you know, it's the same thing that they said. This is what makes it fun for me. I could come out here and play ball and be competitive, but when you can do it with your best friends, it makes it a little bit more special. So, I mean, there's a reason why it's not just me going out or it's not just her. It's a collective unit. So, if that doesn't speak volumes about our relationship, I don't know what will. So, it's something that I'm so glad that we were brought together because of football, and we'll take that for the rest of our lives. You know, it's a fun story to tell somebody, but I'm super grateful for it, and we'll have it forever.
With all three certainly disappointed to have never won a Legends Cup together, you clearly get the sense that they don't regret anything, as they've really enjoyed the journey, and they now have lifelong memories, a tremendous bond, and a friendship that's more like a sisterhood. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Heidi. Certainly a lot of great memories amongst the triplets. They are down to their final game in the LFL, while Michelle Angel and Seattle have their playoff hopes on the line. Next!
Team India ने दिया करारा जवाब और की टेस्ट सीरीज में धमाकेदार वापसी।
विराट कोहली की टोली छा गई है नॉटिंघम में।
अब क्या इंडिया रख पाएगी अपने हौसले बुलंद? India Tour of England, 4th Test, today, live and exclusive, Sony 6 or Sony 10 3-pack, co-presented by Idea 4G. Ab no ajnabi with Idea 4G. Xiaomi, India's #1 smartphone brand. Flipkart, नए इंडिया के साथ. Maruti Suzuki. In association with Wildstone Dio, log to notice karenge, and Pure Derm Anti-Dandruff Shampoo.
Back to LFL football night in the famous fish toss as we welcome you to Seattle, Washington. Before we get underway, let's go down to the field with Heidi Golznick.
It has been said that there is no greater, more passionate, nor truly dedicated fan base in the LFL than the Misfits here in Seattle. Lawrence Andretti, or Big Low, as he is more affectionately known throughout the entire Seattle sports scene, has been a Misfit since day one. Big Low, to see so many former Seattle Mist players desert this team for another team, including the entire coaching staff, how special is it for you fans tonight to see these remaining players who stayed so loyal rally around one another and still be in the position towards a Legends Cup championship?
As sports fans, you know, we realize that it is a business and that these girls, you know, they have to have opportunities, so they take their opportunities and they get them. Thank God we kept a couple of girls around, and we're in the opportunity to where we can be in the playoffs after a win tonight. So I'm really thankful that we got the girls we do.
Thankful for the players that we've got tonight. Back to you guys.
You got to love Big Low. The loyalty to these fans up here is unbelievable, and it's amazing the Mets have a chance to defend their title this year.
Now we get our first look at Dakota Hughes. Not the normal numbers we're used to Hughes, but they've kept it on the ground here in Atlanta as they open this game 1st and 10. They're going to go to the air. Hughes connecting. That is Lauren Ziegler. A nice-looking 6-yard reception. Let's meet Atlanta's starters.
Brittany Demery, tight end. Dino Wojcicki, your center. Jessica Salazar, tight end.
Jolie Fazekai, wide receiver.
Lauren Ziegler, wide receiver. Ferrari Harris, D, running back. Dakota Hughes, quarterback.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that connection all night long, since this is their apparent last game playing for Atlanta. Hughes going to Lauren Ziegler.
That is Ziegler, her second touch of the series. That'll be good enough for an Atlanta first down. And now we got some chippiness back and forth. That is Salazar and Stacey Jackman going after one another. Meanwhile, let's get back to the game and look at the starters for Seattle.
Kiera Williams, corner. Ashley Baker, corner. Christine Cortez, strong safety.
Kara Bryant, free safety. Savannah Wood, middle linebacker.
Stacey Jackman, defensive end.
Ashley Dixon, defensive end.
This game is simply going to come down to the middle linebacker, Savannah Wood. Can she control the Ferrari, Christelle Harris?
This is Dakota Hughes going to elect to keep it herself. Wow, what an open field tackle that time by Kara Bryant. And now Dina Wojcicki and Dakota Hughes going after Bryant. That looked like a clean tackle to me.
That was a clean tackle. In fact, Hughes went after her. She was showing her teeth on that run, trying to run through Bryant. And then, of course, Wojo comes in throwing punches.
We've got a replay, and they're mic'd up. Let's listen in.
I have never seen Dakota Hughes this fired up. She is lit tonight going after people.
You could see there's a different emotion in Dakota Hughes tonight. That's an inside handoff, Jessica Salazar. A great run, a 10-yard run up the middle. That'll set up Atlanta first and goal at the Seattle 10.
Offensive coordinator Mark White, he told me he wants to include Salazar a lot more in this offense. She has a lot of skills that they can use, and right there on an inside Y-under, big gain.
This offense can beat you with a lot of horses. We saw Lauren Ziegler with the first 2 touches. Certainly Christelle Harris and Jessica Salazar. This is Hughes back to pass, wide open. Touchdown Atlanta. Jessica Salazar really making an impact on this opening drive.
Great call by offensive coordinator Mark White. Watch this scissors route. If the guy comes in on a post, and then on the corner route, you got Salazar. Kara Bryant way late getting over there, wide open, touchdown Atlanta.
Shut the hell up.
That's Eric Bellamy, not happy with his defense, who's really struggled. A defense coming in the worst rated defense in the LFL. This is the extra point attempt. That is Christelle Harris cannot get the edge.
Hey, we still score on their ass. Bring it. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
Dakota Hughes talking a lot of trash early, and that time rightfully walking backwards, as Kara Bryant is one of the tougher players in the LFL. And that will take us to our first media timeout as Atlanta leads it 6-0.
हमारे एथलीट्स अपनी मेहनत में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रहे। आओ हम भी कोई कसर ना छोड़ें उन्हें चीयर करने में। 18th Asian Games सिर्फ Sony 10-2, Sony ESPN और Sony 10-3 पर। Brought to you by Kajaria, India's #1 tile company. Cars 24, car बेचो best price में। Havels, wires that don't catch fire. Flipkart, नए इंडिया के साथ। Raymond, the complete man. LIC of India, हर पल आपके साथ. And Sterling Reserve Music CDs, chase the next.
As far as competition goes, nobody does it better. We do it right here on SmackDown Live.
Light 'em up, light 'em up. Light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my fist, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change.
defense. We got to step up, man. That was one mistake. One mistake. Again, one mistake. We keep making dumb mistakes. Instead of doing what the hell we supposed to, sit in your spot. Do your job. Don't go by what you see. Do your job.
Yes, remember, hey, one move and beat her. One move and beat her.
Entertain. Sony Live, we live to 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 entertain.
Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live, we live to entertain. Sony Live. Sony Live, we live to entertain. 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 Sony Live, we